Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of my server Let's Play. So, first off, well, it's getting dark obviously. Spent some time doing my little collection. And so, first of all, you immediately know that I have moved my bed. So I'm not living in a little wooden shack anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with a wooden shack, I suppose, but... Anyways... Second thing you might have noticed is my AE network is offline. Now, don't worry. For once, it's not because we're out of lava. As you can see, we have plenty of lava. What happened is I decided my AE network was consuming way too much lava when I wasn't around and using it. So I set up a little improvised switch that disables the AE network when I'm not going to be online. So that way we're not blasting through lava like there's no tomorrow. Now obviously I would very much like to switch over in some ways. As you saw down there, that was 5 magmatic dynamos. And let's see, if I'm remembering correctly, they output a 80 RF per tick, which is ridiculous. Now, if you look at this controller here, I have it set to EU, or industrial craft power. And as you can see here, it only takes 61 EU per tick to run this, which would be 4 geothermal generators. And so, that is one thing I'm going to do, is switch over to geothermal generators. And got my rubber. So real quick, I'm going to have it start crafting that. There we go. 4 of you, please. Okay, so while that stuff's crafting, I'll do a little more in-depth tour of my little house here. Basically what happened is I got bored one night and decided I needed a new place to live. So I used frostbound stone, abyssal brick, and swirling glass. And these are hopseed doors. The hopseed tree is obviously where you get the wood for that. Now, in here, this might not be something you're very familiar with. I'll explain how I did this momentarily. So as you can see, we have some lamps in here of various descriptions. We've got redstone here and quarried block to accent and break up the blue floor. I moved my bed in here, obviously my music collection. I've also set up a Mistcraft setup here, which we'll also be using in the episode today. The filing cabinet isn't necessary, but everything else, it's a pretty standard Mistcraft setup here. And then I also have the assorted armors that I've pulled from dungeons and tools and such. And then up here, I have dungeon loot stashed in here. Now, as you can see, these elevators are not white. It's really simple. You just get a piece of dye and click on the elevator. But you have to click on both blocks. Otherwise, they're not going to work. So, yeah. And basically, frostbound stone involves 8 ice surrounding a piece of lapis. And that's a frostbound block. And then obviously you can make it into 3 or 4 variations. So, let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay, looks like my generators are done. Cool beans. Just take those. And obviously I added a glacial precipitator here for all the frostbound stuff that I needed. So, let's see here. We got the geothermal generators. I'm probably going to hook them up in the Tower of Power, as I've decided to call it. So let's get some fluiducts. Oh, never mind. I'll just do this. Thank you. Eventually I'm going to obviously have most of my power generation centered around here. However, until then, I've actually pretty much consolidated my power, so there is that. There we go. Nice and simple. So, these produce 20 EU per tick. So, since it's only consuming 61 EU per tick, that's why I needed an extra generator. However, that will also mean I have a very decent amount of room to expand my AE network. Now also, I've disabled the... well, this stuff is powering something I don't think I actually showed you, which I am very sorry about. I didn't even think about it. So down here, a while back, I built this crazy setup. So I have transfer nodes from extra utilities doing cobble generators. And these are way faster than an igneous extruder. And so basically, I have this going directly into the barrel of cobblestone. And then I have the cobblestone getting macerated into sand, and the sand is then being put into the sand barrel. And finally, we have this setup, this thing here, the rock crusher from Railcraft, turning cobblestone into gravel, and obviously the gravel is being put in the gravel barrel. And also back there, I have that so that the flint it generates gets tossed in a trash can. And finally, I have the fluid transposer making mossy cobblestone. Also putting that in a barrel. So I now have infinite sand, cobblestone, gravel, and mossy cobblestone. Unfortunately, infinite dirt is going to take a little while because, well, basically it's going to require automated farms. Well, that's actually the big thing. It requires automated farms. So as you can see here, I'm always going to have plenty of gravel, sand, cobblestone, mossy cobblestone. I'm always going to have plenty of that around. And obviously I've been setting up for some future projects, but again, we're not going to work on that. And anyways, so let's see here. One thing we also need to do is... okay, good. We'll get a couple of those. So I'm going to get started on Mistcraft here, because one of my something I'd very much like to do is get a proper solar farm. Obviously, a solar farm for the AE network, we could do it here in the overworld, but the AE network would be offline during the night. And so, I came up with the brilliant idea of going to create a Mistcraft age, and I will use that as a solar farm. However, it's going to take a while before I can get all the stuff I want. But we have to, obviously, start making... we have to start working on making Mistcraft ages to get more pages. So this is ink files for Mistcraft, obviously. And it's relatively simple, you know. Ink isn't terribly easy to come by, but I suppose I might eventually make a squid farm or something. So basically, you're going to come over here to your ink mixer, put the vials in there. Now, you are going to need paper, I believe, and also going to sleep here. And, right, I guess I'll also mention how I did this real quick. Basically, to do that, you're going to need some slag, some water, I think. No, maybe not water. Hang on. So what you want to make is called a florb. And it's sawdust, slag, and some slime ball. I think you can use glue or congealed blood as well. So, what did I come in here for? And then obviously you put a florb in the fluid transposer with 1,000 millibuckets of molten or energized glowstone. Okay, what did I come in here for? Oh yes, paper. And leather. I totally know how to spell leather. And I guess we'll make some book stands. Book stands, you need to have a couple of those. Okay, where's my stick recipe? There it is. Right, let's try that again. Now, ordinarily, you'd want to bring 2 of these. However, since I raided a village that had Mistcraft house in it, I took some lecterns, and I will be using that to put my linking book on. So what you're going to want to do, I believe, is put paper in here and create 2 link panels. Now, one you're going to want to combine with a piece of leather to make an unlinked link book. Always, when you're traveling to a Mistcraft age, bring an unlinked link book with you, or you will probably not be able to return. Now, I'm going to create my first age with a few pages here to help make the age a little bit unique. And eventually, probably next episode, I'll show you guys how to duplicate pages. So I believe what you do is link panel, you put all that stuff down there, and I believe you actually need another unlinked link book. So hopefully this will work. So grab one of those, put that in there. Yes? No? Okay, this is a problem. Right, I will be back in a few minutes. Alrighty, I am back. So, what I forgot was you're supposed to put leather in there. And I'm not 100% sure if you need a blank link panel in there, but I think you probably do. So I should be able to call this, or name this. And so we will pop it down here. Alright, we got some unlinked link books. We have book stands. Real quick, I'm going to drop off anything I don't need in case I die. I mean, I do have keep inventory, and most of it should go in a gravestone, even if I didn't have that. But still, anything you don't need to carry with you, don't carry with you. And it actually never hurts to have a spare unlinked link book hanging around. Now, let me show you what you do with the unlinked link book. You obviously are going to need a way back to this dimension. So you put it in your inventory, or your hotbar. Make sure you only have one, because if you do multiple ones stacked, I believe it links all of them. So just click that. You now have a linking book to this world. And now, let's go look at my first stage. So it'll take a few minutes to generate. Purple decay. I don't think that's a good sign. Let's, yeah, I'm getting the feeling this might not be a stable age. Anyways, so I used a... Why am I getting hurt? Okay, I'm pretty sure we should leave this place. Because like I said, I think the decay is bad. And I think this age is not entirely stable. Possibly. At any rate, it's time to run. And I will look up and see if I was right, but I'm pretty sure that age is going to have to be scrapped, and I'll have to make a new one. It can happen. Sometimes when you go into a new age, it can be unstable. And that, well, an unstable age, you really don't want to stick around there. So let's try... We'll make a second thing real quick, and I guess we'll go get like book stands and some more ink and whatnot. Okay, so Mistcraft is pretty simple. You do have to be very, very careful, because it's fun and awesome, but it can be very, very dangerous if you're not careful. So, get another ink vial. Right, and I guess we need some leather, don't we? Like I said, you have to make sure to always take a linking book to the overworld with you. And obviously a book stand. Although, you don't need a book stand. You can just put the... you can use the link book, although it'll drop on the ground and take damage over time from exposure to elements and such, as one might expect when you leave a book lying on the ground. Okay. Oops. There we go. 2 linking panels. We'll get another linked link book. And then how you do a random descriptive book is. You just do this. There we go. And we'll get ready to try for a second time. Obviously, in between this episode and next, I'm going to be doing some serious research into Mistcraft. I know how it works, but I do need to make sure that I know what's safe and what's not safe. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the whole purple decay thing means the age is unstable, but I'll double check that just to be sure. Or you guys could let me know in the comments, you know. There is that option. So, we'll travel to this stage and... Right, so we got our link book, book stand. Let's rumble. Okay. Interesting. This is a very interesting age. I quite like it. So let me see here. And this is so cool. You can set it to whatever dimension. Ow. Wow, this is a really odd age. But it's cool. I like it. Not really too worried about taking fire damage. So here's ash stone. Purified oh. So this is like a promised land biome, I think? That's where these dryads spawn. Huh. This is actually a really cool age. And so far it would appear to be stable. I'm not seeing any worrying signs. So I'm assuming this is just... Nope. Well, I have found the jackpot for Ars Magica 2, which also I'll be setting up a room in between episodes to get that all properly set up. So this is why you need to explore ages for Mistcraft, so that you can find these. They're called libraries. And I didn't bring any blocks to build with because I'm an idiot. Luckily, I have a shovel. So, yeah. These libraries are the whole reason you explore different ages. Because obviously you've got pages here, bookcases, and I'll show you guys, obviously. Let's light it up a little bit so we don't get monsters spawning. Come on. Humph. Anyways. So, yeah. Personally, I like lecterns rather than book stands. So there's a chest in here somewhere that contains like a stupid amount of Mistcraft pages. Come on. There we go. Somewhere in here. Ah, there we go. So yeah, nice, nice, nice. And this is also the reason you want to come to these ages with an empty inventory. Because there's a lot of stuff to get. Alright, we'll just make sure you didn't miss anything. And personally, I like breaking down the bookshelves because books are a right pain in the neck to craft. So I am always happy to get free books. There we go. I think a few of them are caught in the cobwebs. There we go. That's the library taken care of. I think usually there's only... Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Well, I just realized what an idiot I am. I forgot to link the link book to the overworld. So, I don't actually think I'm completely screwed, because I think there should be a way I can get out of here without a link book. I hope. Otherwise I am screwed, but you know. Anyways, we need to be wrapping up here, so let's test it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. Well, we're screwed. Because I did not bring a linking book to the overworld. So, what I'm going to be doing in between this episode and next is quite possibly teleporting myself with a server command back to the overworld. But, anyways, that brings us to the wrapping up point, so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments, and I will see you guys next week for more loadout. Bye!